Hey there, We Can't Wrestle podcast listeners. If you haven't noticed, we have switched our server to Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First of all, it's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple, and many, many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership, and it's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. So go ahead, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Highly recommended by me and everybody else here at the We Can't Wrestle podcast.
You're listening to the We Can't Wrestle podcast. Now it's time for our host, Nate Manson.
Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to the latest edition of the We Can't Wrestle podcast. Nate Maxon, your host, here with you. And this week we are going to be doing one of our free-form episodes of the show, meaning no edits, no topic, no anything like that. I'm just going to bring in whoever's willing to join me on the show this week, and we're just going to shoot the shit for a couple hours and try to entertain you as best we can. I would be remiss if I did not ask you to please, if you have not yet, go check out WrestleNet Radio, our new 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week pro wrestling talk radio show. I am very proud of this project. It's a long time coming, and I'm very, very excited about it. It's going to be great as time goes on. I am currently, right now, inviting co-hosts into the show, and we will see who is going to join me and who is not here for the We Can't Wrestle podcast, episode 132. And yeah, this is all taking place 100% as time goes on. I'm not joined by anybody yet, but I sent the invites to the guys, see who wants to join us here in the We Can't Wrestle podcast. And before I get any guests in here, mention WrestleNet Radio again, 24/7, 365 pro wrestling talk. There's featuring episodes of the We Can't Wrestle podcast, Reliving the Extreme. You have Virtual Asylum shows in there, Maximum Gold with David Gold, and many more things in development for WrestleNet Radio coming up. And also, don't forget to join me, Aaron, and Chad Austin for Reliving the Extreme. Every week, chronologically, we are reliving ECW, watching the episodes and reviewing them, and that is quite the experience as well. We've seen some, as Chad likes to say, doozies on that show. So please check out Reliving the Extreme and buy the shirt. Buy the Reliving the Extreme t-shirt. Another way that you can support the We Can't Wrestle podcast, Reliving the Extreme podcast, etc., etc. As we are recording, I am joined by the well-vacationed Mr. Archie Mitchell here.
Yes,
on the We Can't Wrestle podcast.
Very relaxed and subdued, Nate.
Relaxed and subdued. And we are also joined, I think this is the first time Archie and Chad Austin have been on a show together. Chad, how you doing, buddy? Chad just had to put up with me for like an hour and a half, like 2 hours. He's probably like, I've had an overdose of this motherfucker at this point.
Of me?
Yeah.
What the fuck you mean of me?
No, you've had an overdose of me tonight.
Well, that's I will totally agree with that. But I'm not gonna say it in a bad way. I don't think that happened in a bad way.
Well, Archie, how was your vacation to the Disney World and such with your fam bam?
It was worth every penny. We got to enjoy the grandbaby and the children, and it was just You know when you go on vacation with an expectation of seeing certain looks in people's eyes or the way their voice changes when they get excited?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got all of that and then some. So it was fantastic.
Wait a minute here.
What?
Who is this Archie?
This is Archie Mitchell,
Archie Mitchell.
Yes.
one of our co-hosts of the We Can't Wrestle podcast. Like I said, you guys haven't been on a show yet together.
Yes.
Wasn't he a big star in Eastern Tennessee in the 70s?
I was. That was when I went by Buck Naked, and then they ran me out of the territory.
Ron Wright? Ron Wright with the brass knucks or the shank?
Archie was responsible for laundering Ron Wright's blankets in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. You know, the ones he had on his lap. There.
And if you're familiar with the gentleman who ran UWF,
Herb Abrams.
Yeah, I was his cocaine dealer.
You made a lot of money in 1991. I'll tell you that.
I did. No, Chad. Aaron actually had me commission me to do a custom of you before you guys started the Extreme, Reliving the Extreme. I made your custom retro figure.
Mine?
Yeah.
Did he ever send that to you? Did you send that to Aaron, Archie?
Yes, I sent them both.
Did Aaron ever send it to Chad?
No. You guys keep it. I don't need it.
Aaron Maxon is here. He is in the house.
I mean, I'd love to have a figure.
Yep.
You know,
Aaron,
the
did
kids
you
and
send
all
them
would love
one?
to have a figure, but not a big deal.
Aaron, did you ever send one of the Chads that I made to Chad?
Oh, fuck. No, I didn't.
I can't.
I'm looking like right at it. God damn, I'll send it. I'll send it this week. I'm like 3 years behind.
So yes, you hear the voice of Aaron. He has joined us here in the We Can't Wrestle podcast along with Chad and Archie.
Now, I got to apologize, Nate, because for the last 2 weeks, I have not watched the current product because I was away.
You don't have to apologize to me.
So if we're talking about anything current, I know nothing of what's going on.
God bless you and your sanity. You have a little bit of sanity.
I'm refreshed. I'm like waiting for Monday Night Raw with like high hopes. You know?
Oh God, don't do that.
No, I know. Throw a shoe at the TV.
It's fucking awful. It's fucking awful. It's terrible. SmackDown ain't bad now, but Raw is.
Well, SmackDown is never really bad. It's just you got to wade through some of the crap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So,
I gotta say, I just watched something a minute ago that I just was like, all right, now there's an opportunity. Great opportunity. Here's an opportunity. Do something. Crickets.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it's like they're going to do a package with Cesaro.
Yeah. Well, and okay, so while we're on that, I guess I'll bring it up. So why would I don't understand why WWE the way that they book fuck it, the way they book things. But first of all, nobody talks like that in real life. The way that they talk on the shows. But then also, you're trying to get Cesaro over. All right, okay, I get it. I love the guy. I think he's great worker, et cetera, et cetera. But then last week, I haven't watched. Obviously, I'm not watching this week's SmackDown yet. But last week, when they bring him in to interview him, the interviewer goes, "Here is the guy that finally won at WrestleMania, Cesaro."
Right. Meanwhile, he's won at WrestleMania.
There's a way to push a main eventer. Yeah, here's a loser that finally caught the fall. What the fuck?
When I heard them say that, Nate, when I heard that being labeled as so, I was like, wait a minute. He won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. And him and Sheamus successfully defended the tag titles at Wrestlemania.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Doesn't count if it happened on Sunday Night Heat, I guess, or whatever the fuck they call their pre-show.
Yeah, but still, you don't rewrite history just to make it sound good.
WWE does.
I guess so.
like Cesaro's kids are all going to middle school going, my dad won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
And everybody's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, who the hell?
I heard he never won at WrestleMania, and he's a fucking loser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't see it at 5 a.m. on the network.
My dad used to team with Chris Hero. Who? On Cassius Ohno. Who? You know, the guy they fired twice. Oh, yeah.
I think I worked him.
Cassius Ohno?
Chris Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think I worked him.
I wanted to see if you guys are, especially Chad, because I've been going through my old DVDs, and I had put pictures up of that one that I had, that Grand Slam, Grand Masters of Wrestling. Listen to this bang up card. Ace Darling versus Dangerous Devon Storm, King Kong Bundy versus Iron Mike Sharp,
Oh,
the Metal Maniac versus Jimmy Snuka, and so much more. So, but no, this one that I pulled out today, I don't know if any of you guys ever had it or have ever seen it. It's called Kings of Carnage, Fatal 4-Way. And it's got footage from that FOW that was down in Florida. But anyway, listen to this card. Hardcore title match. Barry Horowitz versus Rusty Brooks versus the Sandman. Is that random enough or what?
All right, Sandman hardcore. Who the hell is Rusty Brooks, and where the hell did Barry Horowitz come from?
well, I mean, I'm sure Rusty Brooks and Barry Horowitz, they had an ongoing feud because, they're from the same territory. And I'm sure that probably Barry Horowitz brought the Sandman in, to even the sides. That's my guess. But then when the Sandman got there and he realized that the bars that Barry Horowitz go to closed at 10 o'clock, he probably ended up hanging out with Rusty Brooks.
It ain't for me, brother. I'll be over here with Sal Balomo.
Well, Sal Balomo is not nowhere to be found. So.
The FOW tag team title match, the Vandals. Who are the Vandals? Versus Christian York and Joey Matthews.
Good tag team.
I haven't watched this DVD
the Backseat Boys or whatever they call themselves.
Yeah.
Well, they're two of the Maryland guys.
I thought Christian York was, but I didn't know about Joey.
Yeah, they're in Maryland.
They're two of our guys. Like, I'm not going to say that I trained. Oh, Jesus. I'm not going to say that I. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah. Something just fell.
Yeah, that was my stand for the phone thing. Like, I'm not going to say that Joey and Christian were trained in Maryland, but they were, I want to say, refined in Maryland, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because after they were trained, they came up here, and we got them work.
Yeah.
And, me and Dino worked them guys so many times. Like, I was even in Christian's wedding, for Christ's sake.
Was
it Sendoff?
What's that?
You saying Dino Sendoff?
No, not Dino Sendoff. No.
Dino Bravo?
Not even Dino Bravo. His name was just Dino.
Okay. Just Dino. he had the Flintstones gimmick. You don't remember him?
That would have been for a good gimmick. Just Dino.
Chris Michaels did a good Dino.
Simply Dino. Simply Dino. That's what we'll call
it. Well, yeah, man. Go find the match of me and Dino against Gilbert and
Bam Bam and Rocco.
Who?
Bam Bam and Rocco.
What are you naming off video game people?
Thinking of fucking Flintstone characters.
Yeah, I mean, like Pebbles. Go back and watch the match with Dino and me against Steve Wilkos and Gilbert when Dino pulls out a goddamn footlong out of his jacket pocket when I tag him into the ring.
Doing the Morocco gimmick with a sandwich?
Yeah. Like what are you doing, dummy? Like, we're in a tag team match here. And you got a foot-long Italian cold cut. that didn't look that bad, by the way. I gotta be honest.
Well, he probably went to Subway. He got a $5 football.
Yeah, while I was in the middle of the ring getting beat up, he ran the Subway.
Well, we've learned on this episode so far that Dino's
You can get a Subway. You can get a foot long and a ticket to the ECW arena for $5.
$5.
You don't have to park. No, you don't have to pay no park. Nothing.
Maddie in the house.
Parking.
Maddie in the house is going to beat it into your fucking head too. The ECW on this card. Back to this card. The ECWA title match.
Okay.
Scoot Andrews. Scoot versus
Black
Low
Boy
versus Low Key versus Mike Sullivan.
Now, is that Low Key the Warrior?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a Low Key fan. I like Low Key.
I am too, but he's changed his gimmick like 4 times. It's like, pick one. You know what I mean?
I don't know anybody know who Mike Sullivan is?
No.
Wasn't he a WCW?
It's Kevin's illegitimate son.
That joke came up short, Aaron. I'm sorry.
Wasn't he a TV guy for WCW?
Aaron.
That was Mike Sanders. I don't know who Mike Sullivan was.
No, that was average Mike Sanders.
Above average Mike Sanders.
Above
average Mike Sanders was pretty cool. Like, he wasn't like the tits in the ring or whatever, but he was a good promo, and I enjoyed Mike Sanders.
I actually enjoyed the Natural Born Killers, the Thrillers. I thought they were actually a decent stable. You know, they were just in a bad company that didn't know really what to do with them except for just keep mix-matching the tag teams.
We don't like to talk about bad company on this podcast.
Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies. But
Chad, I can't hear you. Let me see here.
Did he mute himself?
I'm not sure.
Aaron, just so you know, I was going to make you a Kevin Sullivan custom, but I couldn't find a micro brawler that matched up with every other high bro. So I said the hell with it.
That's funny.
Micro brawler.
We can't hear Chad.
I'm going to take Chad out of the stream here and bring him back in and see if we can hear him. No edits on this show.
You might have gotten mad because they mentioned bad company. I'm sorry.
No, I can't hear you, Chad.
He may have muted himself. He might have hit the mic button without realizing.
I love befuddled Chad Austin.
All right, we're going to see. Let's see.
Befuddled Chad Austin.
Chad, I'm going to boot you and you can come back in because I'm not getting any audio. The next match on this card, it's an international title match. I don't know.
Were they all title matches?
An international Waffle House.
It's Chris Daniels versus who the fuck is Bruno Sassy?
I've heard of him before.
He sounds like one of those guys that would be on an HBO comedy special.
Yeah, I think Bruno Sassy was in that what was it, like the Alpha Slam tag team?
Not ringing a bell.
I'm
not saying you're wrong. I don't even know who he is.
Well, I think I'm right, but I think they did like a collegiate,
were they two like fat guys?
Yeah, they did like a frat team.
They were called like Alpha U or something, or Slam U or something like that.
Yeah. I remember that now.
Yeah, but he does sound like a bad comedian that would be on Def Comedy Jam.
Yeah, I know
now
some
coming
shit.
to the stage, Bruno Sasso.
Yeah, he'd be standing in front of that brick wall.
Yeah,
you know
he's unfortunately gonna have to follow
You know what?
He's like in between like Bernie Mac and fucking DL Hughley.
Right.
He's gonna do terrible.
And he's
forgotten to time.
He's trying to do bad Seinfeld comedy, but it's just not coming off the right way. Like, what's the deal with airplane peanuts? Bitches be crazy. And then everybody's just like, what?
Can I say a non-wrestling thing, by the way? Just because I went on this like stand-up comedy fucking wormhole. Bernie Mac is probably in the top 5 funniest stand-up comedians of all time.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Bernie Mac's fucking fantastic. Was fantastic. He's dead now, but he's great.
Oh, are we going to welcome me back yet?
Yes.
Welcome
They
back,
did.
Chad.
Nate did. He said welcome back.
Well, I didn't hear it, so
Oh.
it wasn't official.
It's not official till he fucking hears it.
I mean,
Archie.
Okay.
I mean, there was no midgets. Like, where was Bruno Vachon with the
We
fans?
did talk about Kevin Sullivan for
Yeah.
a minute.
When you
Yes.
got taken out, we were talking about Kevin Sullivan. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We were talking about his micro brawler being actual size.
Well, that's pretty funny.
Do you know? Okay, next match on this card. I know I'm just shooting the shit here, but
Ask Chad about the last match you mentioned. He might know those people.
Well, I know who Chris Daniels is. The one match, Chad, that we were talking about, the next match on the card was Chris Daniels versus Bruno Sassy, and I didn't know who Bruno Sassy was.
Well, I wish I did. I gotta find out who Bruno Sassy is.
Nate, remember Kiwi in WCW?
Kiwi, yeah.
Kiwi, yeah.
Alan Funk.
Alan Funk, the guy who was on Beyond the Mat and all that. And then they stuck him with that wonderful gimmick. Bruno Sassy might have been the perfect person for that gimmick. He comes
I'm
to the
thinking
ring all
about-
feminine.
Hi, I'm Bruno Sassy.
I'm Bruno Sassy.
I'm thinking about like a feminine version of Bruno Sammartino.
Oh, God.
Good God.
Oh, I'll tell you.
I've been the champion for 7.5 years.
You almost sound like if Jim Barnett met Bruno Sammartino. Like, what if Bruno Sammartino had to go into the office to get his schedule, and he's like, I don't know. Like,
I don't know about this.
yeah, I mean,
I gotta drop
all this.
I gotta drop the belt. I gotta drop the belt because I got the vapors.
I've been Koloff, you Russian bear, you.
Yeah. Terry Garvin? And all of a sudden, he's yelling, Larry Zbyszko, I dare you.
I dare you, Larry Zbyszko.
To give me the go behind.
And Zbyszko's just sitting there like, no, thank you. No, thank you.
Look,
That's the last thing Zbyszko wanted to do was give Bruno the go behind.
He's like, I've been champion for 7 years. That's right, because nobody wants to get in the ring with your ass.
yeah.
Gay Bruno Sammartino.
Gay Bruno Sammartino?
It brings
Bruno Sassy.
You know what?
Somebody better tell fucking the Great Brian last. That gay Bruno Sammartino.
it brings a whole new meaning to Hot Bruno.
Hot Bruno.
Yeah, I know how Brian does like 25 minutes of openings where he can talk, but a gay Bruno could be one of the best ones.
You remember how Bruno only wore like red and black tights? I picture gay Bruno being in like skin color tights, and he's completely shaven because he's got no hair, and he's got oil all over him. He's just like, "Hey y'all, let me tell you,
Come to the garden. Come to the garden.
I can't picture that.
It's not
Bruno Sammartino.
gay Bruno Sammartino." It just doesn't work.
This Saturday night. It's not Shea Stadium. It's Gay Stadium. Oh, we're getting knocked off the air for this one. All right,
Definitely.
the next match. It's
This ain't making YouTube.
It's the FOW title match.
What are these titles?
Billy Fives versus Norman Smiley. Who's the fuck is Billy Fives?
Well, he's
an
actually
indie guy. I remember Billy Fives.
He's Ricky Three's brother.
Billy Fives was talked about for like a minute. He was in with like the Scoot Andrews and those guys. Like he was talked about in there.
The guys that were supposed to be the next guys, but they weren't.
Yeah, I remember Billy Fives.
Hey, wait a minute! I was lumped into them guys.
But you were, Chad. You were not weren't. You were.
No, I was, and I was. I was lumped into them guys. Does any of this have anything to do with Rocky Johnson?
I'm not sure.
Rocky Johnson, where's that come from?
In what way?
Well, Rocky Johnson's like with Scoot Andrews. I got a phone call from Rocky Johnson about this new promotion and like the Urban Wrestling Federation or whatever. And I just literally went, oh, good God. I literally just like, no way. And it was in Florida. You guys never heard about this?
No, I heard of the Urban. I heard they were trying to do it. And I'll be honest, Chad, I felt the same way. It's like, but then it never really got off the ground. I think they had like 4 shows and that was it.
Yeah. There was no chance. And these people were expecting me. I was just getting into a new business venture where I was paying money to buy a new business. And while I was on the job, Rocky called me and was like, we want you and your partner to come. I'm like, there's no chance. Like I'm getting ready to buy a successful business to come down. And you want me to come down to Florida to work for you? With hopes?
Yeah, hopes.
With
a pocket full of dreams.
Like maybe you can get Damien Demento, man.
Chad would have like walked in like, hey, I'm here to work. Oh, we already closed. Sorry.
Yeah. You're working Mondo clean. Today.
Yeah, by the time I got there, they would have been out of business.
Yeah. We only taped 4 shows, Charlie. Sorry, Chad.
The main event on this DVD, before we go on to whatever we do next, let's do this Fatal 4-Way. You got the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, baby.
Ooh. Okay.
Terry Funk versus Kevin Sullivan versus Abdullah the Butcher.
Good God.
This is from 2003.
Is that match?
Is that the one where they like play like Old Van Nuys or whatever when fucking Terry Funk comes out?
I don't know. I'm gonna actually watch the DVD like tomorrow.
I really think you know that song they play every year, Happy New Year.
Yeah.
I honestly think they play that when fucking Terry Funk comes out when he cuts a promo on it.
Did you say this was in 2003?
Yeah, this video is copyright 2003.
Yeah, but that match could have happened in '98.
No.
Dusty Rhodes,
Abdullah the Butcher, Kevin Sullivan, and Terry Funk. No, Archie, this video is definitely from that time frame because these pictures of these guys are
Well, what was it for the American Red Cross blood donor drive? I don't know. It was for 4 guys that love to bleed, but they were already in their 50s. Jesus.
That is a show where they play Old Van Nuys when fucking Terry Funk comes out. I remember that.
Jesus. You shouldn't be doing that with those 4 guys that late in their careers.
That's brutal, dude.
Yeah.
These old.
That's the name of this show. That's brutal, dude.
That's brutal.
That's brutal in the sense that, like, I don't know, how do I say it? Like when Paul would bring out Tully,
right?
Paul brought Tully out.
Mm-hmm.
Fight Shane. Yeah, it was.
And Paul realized when he looked at Tully, and after he realized he couldn't do business with Tully, he looked at Tully and it was like, oh my God. Like, you're going to go out there in the ECW arena and look like that.
You're Tully fucking Blanchard, for Christ's sake.
And you don't have a pizza in your hand. You're in trouble.
Just to put it in perspective, just to put it in perspective, looking at the picture of Abdullah the Butcher on the back of this DVD, Abby looks terrible. Just to put it in perspective, because
didn't he?
Generally, that's what I was saying. He generally looked terrible.
We all thought he was going to look so good, Nate. We were like, yeah, Abby was in shape. He's getting ready to win this match. No,
no, he looks like he's melting.
Abdullah?
Yeah.
To go back to what Chad said, though, I think Tully Blanchard now looks better than he did when Tully Blanchard tried to go in ECW.
Oh, I totally agree. I think the ball-headed, honest Tully.
Yeah,
honest Tully. I like it. Another new
Cato diet Tully that found Jesus. He's eating kale now. He has the Lord.
He's like,
he's healthy now.
I love Jesus and I hate potatoes. I'm Tully Blanchard.
I mean, let's be honest.
I'm consuming Jesus and the lettuce. I'm good.
I mean, let's be honest, Archie. Tully didn't have more than 2 moves.
no,
So it didn't matter whether he was a baby face or a heel.
True.
He could have did whatever, whatever he did.
And Arn looks like he ate bad Tully.
Arn looks like he's holding a Waffle House menu on AEW.
Arn consumed a bad Tully, and now we have Cato Tully, and we're all good.
He got Dia Blanchard.
What I'm trying to figure out is the year before Arn left WWE, he was still in shape. He could still move good. And then he got fired. And then all of a sudden, what happened when he got fired? He stress ate? Like he just ate everything inside. Why did he eat donuts? You know, he could still work, yeah, but like for what, 3 minutes? I mean, he threw a spine buster on AEW recently, and he looked like he was about to have a heart attack. I felt bad
because
for him.
he's 900 pounds.
Well, yeah, but he shouldn't have got. Why did he get that big? Why did he get that big?
I can't hit a spine buster, and I'm 38
You
and
couldn't
175 pounds.
You couldn't hit a
Good
spine
for
buster
him.
before then, though. So it's not like you were trying, you know.
I honestly have a problem with a lot of guys that say that about they can't do shit at their old age.
Yeah,
I think Arn can still go,
I just don't think that like they're either they don't care or they don't want to do it.
Right.
And they shouldn't be doing it. Like, I don't know.
You don't want to see Gilbert like Spear.
I want to see Gilbert do anything, but I'm just saying don't fault Anderson because he has gout. If Tony Khan wants to give him fucking money, good for him.
Here's the issue is I don't mind to see a guy like Arn Anderson give some indie guy a spine buster on an indie show, but I don't think that Arn Anderson should be giving a spine buster to a new pro wrestler on a national television show. That I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say.
What's the angle? I mean, what's the angle? Does the angle call for it?
Right. Well, and I think with a guy like Arn, the angle is I'm just going to put some people together. Okay, the angle is Lance Archer. Here's where Arn fits into something like that. Lance Archer decimates Arn Anderson.
Yeah, clearly.
So Cody Rhodes wants revenge. That's your angle.
Right.
The angle isn't Arn Anderson gives Lance Archer a fucking spine buster.
Right.
You know, like you're booking in reverse.
If you're gonna have them go at it, let Arn go at it with Jake. Don't let Arn go at it with Lance.
Well, but then again, Tony Khan's just playing with his Tonka toys at this point. So,
well, what's the story? What's the story that would link Cody to Arn and Lance?
Well, Arn is Cody's manager or mentor, and Jake is Lance's mentor. So that's what links them. And when Lance came in, he immediately attacked Cody. So,
and then Jake finds Jesus, and we're doing a full circle here.
And then Arn gets the sniffles and he sneezes and blows all of Jake's coke away. And he's super fucking mad about it. And Jake runs at Arn, and Arn gives him the spine buster.
Ain't nobody got a nose that big. There was hurricanes in the Gulf.
Well, that's why Jake doesn't work at WWE. He's afraid of Triple H's nose.
Yeah, fucking dudes scooping all my heat. And when I say heat, I mean cocaine.
If Jake got released, he'd be wanting the trash bag full of something like Mickey James got.
Jesus, that was ridiculous. I saw that and I was like, who the hell did it? And when I heard it was Mark Carrano, I was like, really? He's that big of a piece of shit?
Did you guys hear about that?
I don't know. What about?
When Mickey James got her release, and then they sent her shit that she had at the, I don't know, the Thunderdome or whatever, in a garbage bag. So, and it turned out that Mark Carrano guy is the one that sent it, so they fired him.
Now, I have a question.
And they showed his picture, and he looked like a fucking little pudgy version of fucking Bill Dunn. Not Bill Dunn, Kevin Dunn. Like if Kevin Dunn would get his teeth fixed, it looked like fucking. That's what Mark Carrano would look like.
But Nate, I have a question though, because there was a lot out of context.
Do you know what I mean? Like he looked like a fucking Kevin Dunn without fucked up teeth. Like when they put his picture up there,
he's the Kevin Dunn version of that Invisalign would show you on TV.
Yeah, like
before, after.
Like if Kevin Dunn didn't look like a fucking hillbilly, it was Mark Carrano. And like the picture they put up of him, he just looked like a fucking mouth breather. Fucking hillbilly.
How the fuck did Kevin Dunn fall through them cracks? Because you know how Vince is. I mean, maybe you guys don't know how Vince is, but you know how Vince is.
Yes.
If that's the guy that's producing your TV, and
Right.
you look at him and you go like, you look like you're a weasel.
Yeah, like this.
Right.
Like I've seen interviews with people that have said that they can talk to Vince and they have to sit there for like 5 hours in a fucking line to talk to him. And they've said they had to do the same thing with Triple H. But then they say fucking Kevin Dunn is like the Wizard of fucking Oz and you never see him. This fucking like woodland creature is untouchable. But you can talk to Vince. You just gotta sit outside in line. How is he the most untouchable person? And he looks like a fucking badger.
Do you think it's because Kevin Dunn knows where the bodies are buried? That's a euphemism. But do you think it's because Kevin Dunn knows the fucking dirty work? You know what I mean?
No, honestly, I don't think anybody knows that.
Bruce Pritchard has been fired multiple times and rehired.
You know what? I don't even think
Taylor
Bruce knows that.
Yeah, I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
The only people that know where the bodies are at are Vince, Triple H, and Steph. Those are the people that know where the bodies are.
I disagree. It's Vince.
Only Vince. No, I think there's got to be somebody.
No, I mean,
somebody else.
Like,
Vince ain't gonna dig the hole.
I have a couple of bodies of my own.
It's Vince.
Don't even know about.
It's Vince and a legacy of people that Gorilla Monsoon knew really well.
Right.
It's
Gorilla Monsoon is like the Tony Soprano of professional.
Yeah, Gorilla Monsoon was fucking connected, man.
Yeah, he's the Tony Soprano of professional wrestling.
Yep.
I have it on good authority that it's Bull Ramos and it's Black Gordman. They're the two the bodies that are buried somewhere in Southwest Texas. I don't know where, but I mean, that's what I heard.
I would be remiss here if I didn't say, Aaron, before we recorded this show tonight, he put up a post that we were going to be recording the show and, you know, just bullshitting. and asked for any listener comments. And one of our listeners, Nathan Roberts, and I'm interested to hear you guys answer on this. Nathan Roberts wanted to know what each of our favorite wrestling pay-per-view was.
All
So,
right.
Aaron, since you did the post, I'll let you start. What's your favorite wrestling pay-per-view of all time?
I saw that as well, and I thought about it, and I picked two. Okay, and
You can't pick two. They asked you for
I
one.
did.
What's the matter with you, donkey? Come on, it's one.
Well, I picked two.
Well, you showed me.
Yeah. My number one is WrestleMania 5. I love
Really?
WrestleMania 5.
Mega Powers Explode.
Yeah, WrestleMania 5 is a great paper. And that's honestly, like, in my top 3 favorite angles ever, is the Mega Powers Explode.
It's definitely
I
one
love
of the best.
WrestleMania 5.
It's definitely one of the best angles WWF ever did.
Hogan definitely had lust in his eyes. There's no
Brother.
ifs, ands, or buts about it.
So you have Warrior and Rude for the IC belt. You have Hogan and Savage, obviously. The Trump Plaza crowd, I think, kind of takes away from it.
Because there were a bunch of gamblers who wanted to get back to the table.
Yeah.
It was all Jessica's parents. My fiance's parents were there. They were just gambling away our life savings.
But
saw
WrestleMania 5.
I picked them all out in the pictures. I got the surveillance footage. I saw them. I saw Mr. Don. I saw him.
I love WrestleMania 5.
Never mind.
Okay. But I love this fucking dog is barking his ass off.
Aaron looks afraid. Like he's afraid he's about to jump over and get him. Damn,
I love
same movie.
WrestleMania 5, and then the other pay-per-view I love is
Who's the dog pick?
He likes Beware of Dog 2.
Yeah,
yeah, he loves that fucking Bulldog Shawn Michaels match.
That was in your house.
Yeah. My second favorite pay-per-view, and it's random, is I love Spring Stampede 94.
Okay,
Is that Flair and Steamboat on top?
Yeah.
that's a good match.
But Spring Stampede 94 is a great fucking pay-per-view.
I got no problem with that. I like Flair Steamboat 94. It may have been a couple years past its prime, but it was still better than anything you're going to put out there, right?
I agree.
That time, yeah.
Say some other guys that could have been out there. Steve Austin, maybe. Brillman, whatever.
And Steve Austin's even on that fucking pay-per-view. They have fucking Austin and Dustin on that pay-per-view. It's a great pay-per-view.
That should have been good. Austin and Pillman. Austin and Dustin should have been good.
And it's
they always brought down the house.
Isn't it funny that if you look at WCW, all right, so
yeah, that's funny. You have a punchline to this? I just thought if you look at WCW, I was like, yeah, I look at it every day. And it's pretty fucking funny.
I was formulating my thought.
Oh, okay. There's more to it. I got you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
If you look from like 90, let's see, when did the Black Scorpion shit happen? Like 90? When the
90.
Yeah. So if you look at WCW from 90 until Hogan comes in.
Oh boy.
From Starrcade 93 until Hogan comes in at Bash at the Beach 94, it's one of the best stretches WCW ever had.
Oh, without a doubt.
Well, it's
You
not
know,
even. It's not even 93. Like 91 was okay, and then 92 is really good WCW because like 92 WCW is really good because they have like the fucking Dangerous Alliance in there, and the Dangerous Alliance is fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
Why is my mic muted?
I can hear
I mean,
you.
why do
Oh.
you sound like Darth Vader, Arch?
Me?
Yeah, you're
Sorry.
all
might-
breathing like you have somebody captive.
It might have been. It might have been where your phone was located. Maybe.
Okay. Like, I mean, is she
My-
okay?
Yeah. No, I was killing the dog that's barking at Aaron.
Aaron's sometimes I wish it was a video. Aaron's looking back petrified at the dog. Archie, what's your favorite pay-per-view of all time?
Well, I have 9. No, I'm only
Jesus Christ. Aaron says he has the best list. You're not allowed to trump him.
Damn it.
No WrestleMania 5 pun intended there.
My favorite pay-per-view is WrestleMania 6. It's the pay-per-view that got me into wrestling, and from top to bottom, I feel it was a solid card. And Hogan and Warrior is still a match that I can watch every day of the week.
It's one of, I'll be honest with you, it's one of 2 really good Ultimate Warrior matches.
I agree.
There's only 2.
One of 2?
Yeah, there's only 2 good Warrior matches. The one with Hogan.
Rude.
And
the other one was rude.
The next year, year at WrestleMania 7, the one with Savage.
Oh yeah, well.
Other than that, they're all complete garbage.
You don't like the Hunter match?
No. That popcorn fart. But yeah, I mean that pay-per-view it's a solid show. You know, I mean you get the fan service with the Andre the Giant,
Right.
Turning on Bobby, and that, at that point in Andre's career, that was what needed to be done. And then also you get the least. Aaron will know what I'm talking about. You're an entire stadium full of people. The least crowd heat in the history of a stadium full of people is when the Barbarian comes out at WrestleMania 6. That crowd is so quiet. Even Bobby Heenan's like, come on. Come on.
No,
Bobby's up.
I totally read that the wrong way. Wrong way. I think they were stunned.
We had what? The first
I mean, they were like,
it's literally a power
guy
of pain.
from 30,000 feet. Look at him. Yeah, I mean, you're way out of line, Nate. Way out of line.
Well,
You know
I'm
what?
sorry.
Chad's right. They were like, damn, look at the fur on his boot and his hat.
Yeah, I mean, clearly.
That kid is awesome.
And
I mean,
Archie.
if you could buy into Jimmy Snuka stumbling his way down to the fucking aisleway at WrestleMania, I mean, you think the Barbarian's not going to pass? He's not going to pass on that opportunity.
Doesn't Snuka wrestle? I think it's Rick Rude at WrestleMania 6.
Yeah.
Whoever he wrestles, it's a charity.
And they even put Steve Allen on commentary.
Yeah.
Steve Allen,
yes.
isn't he a comedian guy?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
well, how about
he plays.
they should have put Pat Cooper.
And we all know that Aaron's favorite part of WrestleMania 6 is when Beefcake ends Mr. Perfect Streak.
God damn it.
Well, I mean,
WrestleMania 6, Kurt Hennig, he's been defeated for like 2 years. Nobody can beat this guy except Brutus the fucking Barber Beefcake.
I mean, let's be honest, Nate. We've all been trying to keep this a secret for a long time. That Aaron secretly loves Brutus Beefcake.
He does. He's got 5 or 6 autos.
It's the Baba, baby.
Yeah. I mean, nobody wants. You don't want to tell your parents because you're afraid of the backlash, and we get it. And as long as we're doing a friendly podcast here, we can kind of keep it hidden. But his infatuation with Brutus Beefcake, good God.
I heard that Aaron made a secret donation. He didn't want anybody to know, to Brutus's GoFundMe for the hip replacement surgery, and it was the biggest fan donation they had.
Well, I don't think it was a GoFundMe.
It was a good fuck you, Brutus
It was a
Beefcake.
You might want to go back and check on that one.
Like,
Chad,
I don't
what's
wish death on anybody except Brutus Beefcake.
Oh God.
Jesus. Gay Bruno's new name is Bruno Beefcake.
Bruno Slam Martino.
Yeah. What's your favorite?
You know what Gabe Brutus Beefcake's name is?
Brutus
Ed
Beefcake
Leslie.
and Leslie.
Chad, what's your favorite pay-per-view of all time?
Oh man, I was just thinking about it. Was it a pay-per-view? Was Born to Be Wired a pay-per-view?
Was that Sabu and Funk and the barbed wire match? I don't think so. I think
that was
pay-per-view. That was just a cassette.
Right.
All right, so pay-per-view. Honestly, I mean, it would have to be like I'm going to guess probably Brett and Owen.
So WrestleMania 10.
I mean, whatever. I don't know, whatever that was.
When they were in the opening match or the cage match?
The opening match.
That was WrestleMania 10.
That's Mania 10.
Like the one where they went like 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it also had the ladder match with Michaels and Ramon.
But that wasn't even nowhere near what Owen and Brett did. That wasn't even close.
Well, the good part about that too is Owen actually got to go over.
Yeah, of course.
You know,
like I mean, in my opinion, you're not going to find nobody better than Brett.
Mm-hmm. To put on a pay-per-view, because you think about it, the guys that were in let's talk about the first 10 years of pay-per-view, all right? From WrestleMania 1 to WrestleMania 10. A lot of those guys came out of the territories pre-pay-per-view, and I'm not diminishing any of their talent, obviously, but they weren't bred as pay-per-view wrestlers. But when you're talking about a spectacle and a pay-per-view and et cetera, yeah, I mean, pay-per-view wrestling, Bret Hart, he was probably the first great wrestler to be honed in the pay-per-view era.
Because all the other guys were house show guys.
Yeah.
They knew how to perform in front of the 12, 14, 16,000, you know?
Right.
Yeah, or even at, like, off of that, like, I don't want to say it, like, before the pay-per-view crowd, like, with Brett, it's like, before that, they would also be, like, the Saturday night's main event guys, like where the shit would be edited.
Yeah, super.
Like, it wasn't live. It was live to tape or whatever, and
it wasn't live to tape. I can tell you that it wasn't live to tape. It was live to what the fuck is this? I mean, I was there. I sat next to Jody Hamilton and watched the shit. And what is this? I mean, ask him. I mean, do you guys know Bob Cook?
Heard of him.
Bob Cook was a perennial carpenter on WCW. I watched his matches.
He'll tell you. Like, how was it? Well, I mean, he was a jobber. Just say it. Say it, Aaron. Say it.
Hey, he's a jobber.
Spit it out.
He was a jobber.
Come on.
He was a jobber.
Jobber.
On WCW.
Say it. Jobber. Jabroni.
Jobber.
He was a J Brown on the WCW.
J Brown. Jabroni. Jobber. Come on. Say it.
I said it.
All right. Well, good.
Nice.
All right. Well, good.
That's funny. That's funny because something I'm going to bring up to you guys later on, probably in just a few minutes, is We'll get to it. Fuck it. My favorite pay-per-view. Oh, go ahead, Aaron.
No, say what your favorite pay-per-view is, because I have a few questions I was going to ask you guys.
Okay. My favorite pay-per-view, and I always overanalyze shit, but if I'm going to sit down and watch a pro wrestling card and call it a pay-per-view and say it's my favorite pay-per-view show of all time, I would have to go with the Canadian Stampede pay-per-view from '97.
Really?
Yeah. My favorite pay-per-view to watch is that Canadian Stampede show with, the 10-man tag on the top. I think it's a perfect pro wrestling show. And you guys can disagree, but I think that's a great pay-per-view. And it's my favorite.
I have no problems with it. The main event is great. The 10-man tag.
I mean, you start out with Hunter and Cactus in a match especially at that time on WWF. Yes, on WWF that you didn't see very often. They go outside the ring. It's kind of a no holds barred thing, and it's a really good match. And then you have Sasuke and Taka Michinoku. You have, you settle it down a little bit with Vader and Undertaker, and then that 10-man tag is just gold. That's my favorite, honest to God, from beginning to end, it's my favorite pay-per-view of all time.
If the Hearts were not the heels and the ending where they had the entire Hart family jump in the ring,
I love that.
You know what I mean? That ending is perfect. It's just they were heels, but it's because they were in Canada, they got treated like they were faces. But my point is,
that's why that was so good, Archie.
Right.
Fantastic. But yeah, I don't know if you guys.
Hang on, Archie. Since I didn't really say what pay-per-view that I really liked,
right?
I want to say I think it was Starrcade. Was it 83 or 84 when it was Rufus R. Jones?
Oh.
The king of Mid-Atlantic, daddy. Whatever that one was my favorite pay-per-view.
I don't know that I've watched it in such a long time that I can remember it, but I have no problem with that.
It's Rufus Jones. You don't have to remember.
It's Rufus R. Jones, dummy. Don't get it all wrong and shit, and discredit the poor guy. He already don't have enough credit to his name.
Rufus R. Jones can't get credit.
Well, that's not my fault.
That's his fault.
Well, I mean, let's be honest.
Rufus R. Jones don't pay his bills, so he can't get credit.
Oh, you got to have a job.
Rufus credit.
Well, I thought Rufus R. Jones did a lot of jobs.
As soon as St. Louis dried up, his options just kind of wore out. He's calling old Sam. Hey, Sam, can you help me out? I don't think so, man. Like, Archie, Rufus is looking for furniture.
Archie had to drop off, but he'll be back.
What? Archie dropped off?
Yes, he left us.
Is he coming back?
He says he will be.
Regardless. What, is he mad
at me? No. It was his sinuses, which may have explained the heavy breathing.
His sinuses? I ain't never heard of that. No. What the fuck? I mean, I'll tell you.
It's like when Terry Funk was like, I gotta quit because I got a sick horse.
Sick horse.
I got sinuses.
Like, Lawler's grabbing Funk and he's taking him down the fucking hallway. He's like, my sinuses. my sinuses. Yeah.
I need some more Britra.
The first time I get on the show with Archie and he's bailing out, he's a failure.
He's a failure.
Come on.
Get him back, Nate.
He's got to run down to the CVS to get some minutes.
I'm currently texting him. We're roasting your sinuses currently. Aaron, you said you had some questions for us.
I do have some questions.
Well, ask him then.
Well, I'm going to ask him. And you guys, I feel we're cool enough to ask these questions. I'm going to ask this question. Who would you guys say, and it's no judgment, who is like the sexiest female ever in wrestling?
Ever where?
Like the sexiest female in professional wrestling history. Like not her talent. Like not her talent. Not her whatever. Just the like hottest ever in wrestling.
Stacy Keibler. She's the hottest person I've ever seen in person.
Who was it?
Stacy Keibler. I'm telling you.
Now, are we?
I mean, I'm not telling you to pick her, but I'm telling you, when I saw her in person, I said, "Oh my God, I don't believe this." And then I went to a buddy's house that night, and it was in an affluent neighborhood, and he goes, "Hey, my family's friends with Stacy Keibler. Do you want me to call her?" And I just said, "What do you mean? Do you want me to call her?" Of course I do. Call her. I'm half hammered, man. Come on. Get her on the phone. Let's do a kegger with Stacy Keibler.
What year was she's from here? She's from your area. Is she a Baltimore girl?
Yeah, she's from here.
Yeah.
So he called her and he goes, "My friend wants to talk to you." And I was like, "Hey, Stacy, yeah. So what do you think about me and you? Getting some beers and shit." It didn't work out so well. It didn't work out.
I'm not a worse jobber than David Flair. Come on.
Yeah, right. I mean, I thought I had a shot. Like you were a David Flair, stupid.
Nate, what's your answer?
All right, so what are the other questions?
Well, I need to hear Nate's answer.
And we still got to get Aaron's, too.
Well, I'll tell you mine, but I want to hear yours, Nate.
Mine's Tammy. Not Tammy now.
Oh, boy.
Tammy then? Like Smoky Mountain Tammy?
Tammy from like 94 to 97.
92 to 94.
God damn.
Yeah. Mine's Tori
Wilson. I will say this. I don't want to cut you off, Aaron, but I will say this. Chad has a great point with Stacy. Oof. What year was that, Chad?
I don't know, 2007, 6, somewhere around that area.
The pre-Clooney years.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's definitely before all that. Whenever she supposedly blew up.
But yeah, you're definitely right with Stacy. But like I said, for me, I don't know, and it may be because I was a teenager at the time, and that is what it is. But Tammy, man, when she was fine, she was at her finest. God damn,
dude, Tammy was Missy Hyatt in 1996 when Missy Hyatt was Missy Hyatt in 1986.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody was hotter than Missy Hyatt in Continental in 86 when when Gilbert booked that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But my baddest chick is Tori Wilson. I just think Tori Wilson is just.
I thought Aaron was going to say Jazz.
No,
that's my girl.
I thought he was going to say Awesome Kong, but
no. Why would you guys think that I like dominant black broads?
I didn't want to kill her.
Fuck. Why do you guys think I want to be smothered? I don't want to be smothered.
The name of this show is going to be "Don't Listen If You're Easily Offended."
No, it's Tori Wilson. I think she was a smoke show.
I thought Tori Wilson was also phenomenal. And every time, what's his name? Brian Kidman came out, and like every time he came out, I just like, there's no way.
Yeah,
This guy's married to this
how did
girl.
this geek pull down fucking Tori Wilson?
Yeah, what does he have? A 12-foot long tongue, or what?
Something. Like, there's no way this guy. He must have film. Like some like evidence that she did something. There's no way that this guy's with this girl.
This fucking geek got this broad. It's fucking ridiculous.
Like I knew Billy before he went to the whatever it was, WCW. I knew him before that. And he wasn't with her. Because if he was, then I clearly would have tried to take her from him. But, he was just the fledgling guy. And he went to the Alpha and Sika school.
Mm-hmm.
What a talent he was, man. I remember seeing him at a show. Like, I did a ring rental, and I just was like, oh, my God, this guy is fucking good, man. Like, look at him go. Whatever, but, yeah, he overachieved with that broad.
Yeah, if Billy never did anything in his entire career, which he did, Billy had a good career, but if he never did anything else,
he fucked Tori Wilson.
Fucking Tori Wilson. That should be his fucking claim to fame.
Of course it should be. I fucked Tori Wilson.
Yeah, it's like I worked Starrcade and yeah, I wrestled Chris Benoit. I wrestled Rey Mysterio. But I also just if that doesn't impress you enough, I fucked Tori Wilson.
I did. I threw out a Von Erich. I mean, at Starrcade, I worked a Von Erich. I mean, do you remember a guy named Dusty?
Yeah. Ric Flair could be like, "Hey, I won 24 world titles." And then Billy King would be like, "Well, I fucked Tori Wilson." And Ric Flair would be like, "Touché, sir. Good for you."
There you go.
You're the greatest of all time, baby.
Yeah.
I fucked Tori Wilson.
Yeah. I should be super kicking you at WrestleMania 24.
Hey,
you fucking
you know who I could have
Cox
fucked?
Smith.
I'll tell you who I could have fucked. Who's the broad from TNA? Tracy
Brooks?
Yes, Tracy Brooks.
She's stacked.
I could have banged that broad. And the only reason why I didn't, because I was already in a relationship.
And Frankie Kazarian wanted to watch.
What's that?
Isn't she with Frankie Kazarian?
I don't fucking know. I have no idea. Like, I don't know. I was at a show that Dusty...
I love this show.
I was at a show that Dusty was on.
Mm-hmm.
And she was there. And the whole entire time I was standing in the hallway, Dusty no-showed. And she was hitting on me and shit. And I was like, dude, I have a girlfriend and everything. And she was like hitting on me. And I was like, dude, I could bang this broad. And I'm like, who are you? Like, what do you, like, who do you work for?
Was this pre-TV for her?
No, it was like 2007. 2000. I don't know. Like, I mean, you tell me. Was it? I mean, where were they at in their?
Tracy Brooks wasn't. Tracy Brooks is that Miss Tessmacher? Is that the same?
No, that's not. That's
no.
Not
I don't know.
Miss Tessmacher was. Oh, she's a fine chick too. She was one of the ECW girls.
All I know was I just told her, I was like, dude, I've been with the same girl for like 15 years. It ain't gonna happen. Like, I mean, unless. Like, do you have any Japanese deals?
Unless.
Yeah. You got any Japanese deals?
Yeah, I Have you met Inoki yet? Come on. I mean, let's open this up, bro.
I think Baba died in '99.
Well, that was my gate.
Are you trying to see my giant Baba?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Do you have my gateway to the dream or whatever that fucking tournament's called?
The gateway to the dream? That sounds like something Nick Gage is just waiting to get involved in.
All right, you guys want my next question?
Yeah, sure. Fuck it. Let's do it.
All right. They asked about favorite pay-per-view. I'm going to ask this question. What do you guys think is the worst WrestleMania ever?
All of them?
29. 29 is the worst because Aaron knows because he is also involved in retail and corporate America. WrestleMania 29 felt like you were going to a WWE like corporate convention. Does that make sense? Like it was so sanitized and everything was about the charities and blah blah blah, and it was
What was
boring.
the main event?
Rock and Cena, and it was boring. It was a boring WrestleMania. There was the Triple H. It was the Triple H Lesnar match. The only good thing on 29 was that Punk and Taker. That was probably the only thing on because that was the one where Jericho jobbed to Dancing Guy.
Fandango.
Mm-hmm. That's probably my least favorite WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't remember that one, but
God. I don't think any of the WrestleManias are any good, honestly. So you could really just throw them all out there. I mean, I mean, to me, it's not. I'm not that guy, or I'm expecting the big show, or I want the big show kind of payoff thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, give me something good.
Right.
Give me something that's, building up to the payoff.
Which I think is another reason why I love that Spring Stampede. I do love that Spring Stampede, Aaron, but Canadian Stampede. That Canadian Stampede pay-per-view to me, it was like it was just a good pro wrestling show, pay-per-view or not. I thought it was a great, and I don't want to harken back to it. I don't want to harp on it, but
well, good. If it's good, then go and do it. Like, why would you not want to talk about it? Why would you want to talk about something that's shitty?
True. Touche.
Well, we do that every week on the ECW Reliving the Extreme podcast.
Well, we ain't doing that now. Good God.
But to me,
they can only show up so often.
But to me, the worst WrestleMania is WrestleMania 11.
You got LT and Bam Bam. See, Shawn and Diesel have a good match at that show, but yeah, you're right. It's a shitty show.
They open the fucking show with the Blue Twins versus Lex Luger and the British Bulldog.
Fuck yeah. Why wouldn't you?
And then they end it with LT versus Bam Bam Bigelow. And then in the middle of it, it's The Undertaker versus King Kong Bundy. Fucking trash. That's the worst goddamn WrestleMania.
There's another show.
No.
There's
Not
a show
the worst WrestleMania.
There's a show.
Best card right there.
There's a show I'm doing with a guy named David Gold on WrestleNet Radio, and our next episode, we're actually going to do where each of us rebook a WrestleMania, and he chose WrestleMania 9, and I chose WrestleMania 11, And in the text message I sent him was, I'm redoing WrestleMania 11, and I promise you, Undertaker is not getting saddled with Bundy. That was my quote to him. Like, that's not happening.
Why? What's your problem with Bundy?
In 1994 or 5? Oof,
Yeah.
oof.
What's your problem with Bundy?
Like, Bundy's great in world class.
It's probably his
Bundy
gout
is-
and diabetes.
Bundy is great in world class. After that, I check out on Bundy. I like Bundy in world class, though.
No, Bundy wasn't bad. In like,
He's like Samson. Once they shaved his hair.
well,
Oh boy.
Bundy was a good opponent for like Hogan.
I guess.
Like that worked.
But
But
I would have much rather seen Hogan and Orndorff at WrestleMania 2 though.
Bundy
you guys
95 is terrible. Which
you guys
Bundy
are
95
you guys are breaking my heart. Like
Bundy
I was-
95 sounds like a fucking
I
Rob Zombie
was good.
song,
I
by
was,
the way.
shut up, Aaron.
Okay.
I was talking, man. Pipe it down over there, minimum wage.
All right.
I was-
That's Aaron's new name. I'm here with my co-host Chad Austin and Minimum Wage.
um,
I make $59 a year. I'm okay.
like I was friends with Bundy. Like I was really good
And look where that
friends
got
with-
him.
What's that?
So look where that got him.
He's dead.
Yeah.
Jesus
Well, it wasn't me. I didn't do it.
was he like? I know he did. I never saw Chad. I never saw any of the stand-up stuff that he was. He funny?
Yeah, he was great. Like he was beyond. Like he was really, really, really good
Mm-hmm.
at stand up. And I don't know whether he was doing that shit like on his own, like when he wasn't working, like Tuesday, Wednesday,
Right.
Thursday kind of stuff. Because I worked him when I was with Bundy, I worked him like, I don't know, 3 days a week for like 4 weeks.
Mhm.
Like the same shows, the same shit. And he was like, "Oh, I got to be in Jersey and do my comedy shit." But yeah, I like Bundy, but not as much as Aaron did.
I like Kid Kong Bundy. I just didn't like Bundy 95. Just saying.
Oh, did I tell you about how he broke my futon?
No.
Oh, I didn't tell you about that. Oh, I was wrestling that fat fuck. Somewhere like I don't know, maybe not quite like 200 miles, but somewhere around 130 miles away from my house. And I told him, I was like, "Hey, man, I'm getting ready to go home because I'm getting the Holyfield fight."
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Do you care if I come by and I I watch it?" And I'm like, "Well, it's King Kong Bundy. Like, what am I gonna say? No?" And I said, "Hey, listen, man, I gotta be honest. I left my door unlocked. There's gonna be like 5 or 6 people there, that are kind of marks.
Mm-hmm.
You care?" And he was like, "No, I don't really give a shit." So we get to my house, and I just got Aaron, I just got a brand new futon, brand new, like taking it out of the box, like putting it together, setting it up, making it look good, presentable. You know what I mean? All right, here we go.
We put the finest blankets on this motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. and Bundy comes over and he walks in.
It's like one of those Indian blankets that look like with like the mosaic design, and they got like the tassels hanging off of them. It looks really
right.
good.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I'm trying to set the scene.
That's exactly how it was.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bundy's like, this shit looked comfy.
I can't believe you
might
weren't
have to
there.
set my alarm. I might have to set my alarm for a 5 count.
It's a good
Like,
thing it
my
wasn't
snooze it.
iPhones. Because you were taking a picture of yourself there with Bundy. While he's taking a picture of my shitty fucking carpet. So where were we?
You had just
Bundy's about to shit on your futon.
Oh yeah, before Aaron interrupted us. And I said, hey, I'm gonna go home and watch the fucking like Holyfield fight or whatever. And Bundy says, hey, do you care if I come home and watch it at your house? I said, are you going home to Miko's? Like, are you stopping at my house to go home to Jersey? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, no problem, dude. You know, because I mean, I'm only 2.5 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
From Jersey. So I was like, no problem. So he comes over and I said, I just want you to know I got a house full of jobbers. Like, they're marks. They're going to fucking pop their shit out when the King Kong Bundy walks in the fucking house. like for real. They're going to like, what the fuck is this? And he walks in the house and he goes to sit down. And when he sits down, he went right through the fucking sofa. Like, he went right through it. And then the worst part was he couldn't get himself out of it. Like, it took like 4 or 5 of us.
And we did you name that futon afterwards Hogan Politics?
There really wasn't a whole lot you could name that futon after, because that futon was pretty much
done, son.
Yes. It was like yes. Like, whatever he did to that futon, it pretty much destroyed the whole goddamn entire thing. And I even the last time I saw him, I was like, dude, you owe me like $400. And he was like, for what? And I said, for my futon. He goes, well, you buy shitty furniture. I said, well, you go to buffets. Like, too much. Like, kind of thing. Like, and me and him kind of had it out. Like, me and him, I swear to God, dude, he's dead now. But I swear to God, me and Bundy, we had a chemistry that you probably, it's crazy. It's kind of like you and Aaron. You know what I mean?
Bust them balls. Yeah.
I mean, well, you can say whatever you want to say, and Aaron would know that you really don't mean that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And me and Bundy had that. We had that chemistry because we had worked so many times and been around the horn for so long. But yeah, right. he broke my futon.
It's funny how the people you love and respect so much
are the fucking most ridiculous human beings.
Well, not just that, but the people you love and respect so much are the ones you can just bust the fuck out of, and it doesn't matter. Yeah. You know, it's like, I know he's just joking. I know he's just fucking around.
What, King Kong Bundy can just break my furniture and just get away with it? Like, I was going to expect him to send my grandmom at my house where I was living at.
Well, I just picture you going, you broke my futon. He's like, yeah, but I wrestled Taker at WrestleMania 11.
Yeah. It's $139.
He's a We Can't Wrestle podcast Hall of Famer. What are you talking about?
He's like, respect, bitch.
It's $139 for a futon.
Maybe you should have made your fucking futon out of balsa wood, bitch.
I didn't know I made my my futon out of Buffalo. Mr. Bundy.
Senior Bundy.
I didn't know that.
Didn't you know I was on Married with Children?
I just found that on DVD.
It's a great show. It's a great fucking show.
What, Married with Children or the one?
Oh yeah, both of them. But Married with Children and with Bundy. You can never do that show today, though.
Psycho Dad.
My favorite.
Think you can. I think you can.
Think so? I don't know. Like, I think it would get canceled.
I think you have to de-sterilize people to re-sterilize people. You got to strip them down, boom, to
and
the
then
bare
minimum. Give them something shocking. Yeah, I mean that's true though.
I don't know. I mean, because my kids,
my favorite
kids don't give a fuck.
My favorite thing on Married with Children. I don't know if it's necessarily my favorite thing, but it's the one that sticks out the most in my mind. Is Al and Peg are sitting on the fucking couch, and she's just yammering on and on and on, and he turns with that clicker, and with no words spoken, he just starts clicking the off button, and it's not working. But anyway, right. Aaron, did you have other questions?
Yeah, I have four more.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We're going to be here all night.
But we don't have to do them all. But what would you guys say, wrestling-wise, would be your biggest, like, disappointment? Like an angle. Like
it's already happened or it hasn't happened?
Already happened. Like, you thought, oh, this is going to be great, and this is a fucking disappointment. And I'll say mine. That way you guys can talk about yours. I'll say mine. Mine was when Vince bought WCW. I thought that was a big, huge fucking disappointment.
You're not wrong.
I know. That's why I said
it. It's his opinion. So, no, he's not wrong. That's fine. Nate, what do you say? I mean, I want to hear what you say before I give you my opinion.
Well, Nate walked away for a minute.
I have two, honestly.
All right, let's hear them.
Well, Black Saturday.
Oh, when Vince bought Georgia?
Yeah. Like, that to me is always going to be like, when I go to my grave, I'm going to kick that fucking last shovel of dirt on that gravestone going, you motherfucker. You got rid of Georgia Championship Wrestling.
Yeah.
And then it's that, or it's probably just WCW.
Yeah, I know people give like WCW a hard time because they did stupid shit, and I know they did stupid shit and everything, but WCW as a whole was fantastic because they did what Vince wouldn't do and acknowledge like other styles of wrestling and other promotions, and like they'd bring Japanese people in, and like, to me, WCW gets a bad rap, and yeah, they had bad angles and it was mismanaged and everything, but they fucking acknowledged other promotions.
Yeah, well, they had above average Mike Anderson.
But it's like Chad said too, like the Black Saturday thing, like,
yeah, we're giving you something new. Here's a bunch of canned shit from all over the country.
Yeah, you're giving us something new. It's Jimmy Snuka against Iron Mike Sharp from the Maple Leaf Gardens.
And I have to admit, because we're doing this show live, or we're doing the show with no edits and whatever, so I sound like a shitty host, but was that Chad's biggest disappointment was Black Saturday?
Yeah.
So here's my biggest disappointment. And this is as a guy that was born in 1978.
Doozy.
I became a child fan in 1983. Because at 5 years old, my first introduction to wrestling. But no, my biggest disappointment. No, seriously, my biggest disappointment ever is literally AEW. Here's why. Because the Monday Night Wars and the Monday Night I'm drunk. The Monday Night Wars ended in 2001. Yeah, shut your face.
Hang on, Nate. Hang on.
Oh, go ahead, Chad.
Are you really trying to do this now on this show?
Yes.
I mean, you really are.
Mm-hmm. AEW is a fucking
sure. Because I mean, my battery is full. I got plenty of time.
I've changed.
Tell me how you think AEW is so great.
No. It's the worst disappointment ever because I have 2 kids and I've changed plenty of dirty diapers in my life. AEW is a dirty diaper because that fucking shit. It stinks. They said after 20 years, wrestling fans, after 20 years, we're going to give you real athletic professional wrestling. We're going to give you something different. And then they gave me Rusev and a fucking arcade machine. Fuck you, Tony Khan. It's garbage.
Well, that was
like
last
it's.
Week. Did you not watch the next week?
I can't bear to do it.
Dude,
like that promotion.
How did anybody not?
That promotion fucking sucks. That promotion fucking sucks.
Well, hold on. Let me ask this: how did anybody not know that it wasn't going to be? How did anybody not know it was going to be bad when, for one, the people's names are Khan?
That's enough.
They've conned you. And 2, the dad has like a mustache, like an old time train robber. He's gonna rob you.
Lay down on
he
the
looks
tracks.
like Snadley, or what's the fucking dude?
I know. But hold on, I know. There's a lot of fucking.
I'm not sure I can be part of this podcast anymore.
I know. No, I mean I know. There is a lot of wrestling garbage in the history.
He looks
of
like
wrestling.
Snadley Whiplash.
Yeah, hold on.
Train robber.
Hold on. You asked a question. Let me answer it. There's a lot of garbage in the history of wrestling. Let's be honest. But. And I can only talk from my lifetime. AEW promised lots of things that they literally never delivered on. They've never delivered on one fucking thing they promised, ever. They promised me pro wrestling in an era of sports entertainment, and they gave me that fucking shit? It's garbage.
Okay, all right. How about this? What do you think that would have been better? I mean, give me your opinion of what would have been better. Aaron Maxson, come on.
Aaron
Maxson, tell me what would have been better.
How about you're offering me? You're telling me, literally telling me,
free reign. Free reign.
Yeah, we're not going to give you what Vince McMahon gives you as pro wrestling, and then you give me what Vince McMahon gives me as pro wrestling.
But you're not giving me. You're not giving me an alternative. You're bitching about it. What would you do?
What I would do is what Ring of Honor was attempting to do with the Pure Tournament.
Are you kidding me?
No. Like, restart everything. Like, and I'm not saying you don't take 3 years and do it. Like, wrestling has to die before it can come back. Like, it literally has to go away before it can come back. But AEW.
That I can't agree with.
No,
I can't agree with.
Oh, you can't. Okay, I just think that like AEW didn't. It's so, and I'm not saying they don't have their moments, but and this is, I mean, I'm fucking drunk as shit, and I'm just rambling, but that promotion fucking sucks. Like I can't watch one of those and I'm not absconding WWE at all. Raw is fucking terrible. I'm not defending WWE, but what AEW has given us is not an alternative. It's like WWE with ADD. It's awful. It's awful. Like the shows don't make any sense.
I thought that last AEW show was one of the best shows they've ever done.
Really?
I mean, I don't know what to say. I thought Jungle Boy and
Darby Allin, yes, that was great. And I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying they don't have their moments. They really do.
I thought Sheeta against Conte was good. I thought they had great matches. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's not your just cup of tea. You know what I mean?
Well, but I also think that in the context, like I'm just putting everything in perspective. Like match wise, WWE has great matches too. Like Lashley and McIntyre was good.
No, I've got.
I mean,
how many Snickers bars I've eaten during a commercial break? I mean, I've ordered coffee.
I think that, and you can disagree with me, which you probably will, but I think the athletes and the matches they put on generally are very good. I'm just talking about the booking and the way to get to the matches and everything. It's just like AEW has had, they have literally booked themselves 10 years of history in 2 years.
Oh, clearly.
And it's just, like I said, I mean, Aaron asked what our biggest disappointment was. And it's disappointing to me, not because I'm trying to hate on them, just because I expected, when it first started, I expected so much. And I haven't gotten it. And again, wrestling's like art, it's all subjective. And I didn't want to start a fight, Chad.
Well, you got me all fired up, man. Well, the worst thing is that there's nobody else to go to.
Mm-hmm.
As who are you going to get? Dusty's gone,
right? I mean, I guess we have to resign ourselves to this is what it is now. But I don't know. And that's why, like I said, I wasn't trying to frame my answer to Aaron's question as
you were
completely shitting on AEW.
You were trying to get me all riled up. You were trying to get me all in motion. You were trying to get me all revved up in gear. You were trying to get me to cut a promo on you about how you don't know what's going on with the what? Never mind.
And then I can use your promo as a hype piece for the We Can't Wrestle podcast. You're on to me. You're on to me, Chad.
I was on my way to cutting the masterpiece, by the way.
Speaking of the masterpiece, if we're going to talk about current product, my favorite current product is, and you guys are going to shit on me, I know, I like the NWA. I like Billy Corgan's NWA. It's an hour show. There's one fucking faction, and they just tell their story, and they get in and they get out, and I fucking enjoy it.
I don't have any problem with that. I'm not paying the $5.
I'll pay the $5
for me.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, then go ahead, knock yourself out. But
we'll let Nate pay it. He's not paying me anything. You give Chad $5 a month.
Yeah, he's making all this network money.
Yeah, he's World Wrestling Network. And
you goddamn shit. You motherfuckers.
Yeah, he's cleaning up over here.
Yeah.
How about you
got 49 fucking listeners.
Aaron,
Pay your
If
bills, Nate.
Aaron, if you would up your game, we'd have 50 listeners.
Hey, you hear that? Spend some money, you cheapster. You know how much money I spend a week on this nonsense?
I do my part.
Barely any.
This is the this is the best episode of this show ever I've done.
All right, I got 3 more questions.
Shit.
What is the worst gimmick of all time? Yeah, his opinion. Like, worst gimmick a wrestler's ever had all time.
I mean, do you want the obvious answer, or do you want like somebody that thinks it out? I mean, the gobbledygooker clearly is the worst, but like what the worst gimmick is somebody that came in.
Sure,
like is that what you mean, Aaron?
What's your after you think of the gobbledygooker? Okay, that's the worst one.
Yeah,
What's
clearly
the one right after that?
The worst one.
Hanging on the line.
Yeah, that's clearly the worst one. You know
what did they expect to gain from that? Like, this guy's gonna wrestle with these golf ball eyes and shit. I don't. Anyway,
I mean, a big pop. He's bopping out of a fucking egg. I mean, clearly. Where was that pop? Like, it's almost like the Kenny Omega. Where was the kaboom?
Let's say this for the record.
An earth-shattering kaboom.
Yeah. For the record, folks, in 1991, Gene Okerlund just failed Hector Guerrero.
Yeah, Hector Guerrero was not going to be the face of WWE. So what was the question again, Aaron?
Well, after the gobbledygooker, what is the worst gimmick of all time?
Worst gimmick?
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord, man. Nate, do you have can you give me any guidelines? Because I mean, I'm thinking like stupid shit like Isaac Yankem, like that shit.
That was the first one that came to my mind, was the wrestling dentist.
Yeah, but I mean, is Aaron trying to like trick us and throw us?
No, I'm not trying to trick you guys.
Yankem's up there, especially because it was saddled on a great worker. Like, Glenn Jacobs is a good big man worker. Man,
I'm starting to think that the fake Diesel and fake Razor.
That or slapping Tracy Smothers with Freddie Joe Floyd.
Oh, I love that. That was my favorite. Every time I saw Tracy, dude, I swear to God, every time I saw him, I was like, "Yeah, what's up, Freddie?" Like, and he didn't give a fuck. He didn't give a fuck. I thought that eventually he'd be like, "I'm fucking Tracy Smothers, motherfucker." And he would tell me to stop, but he realized he was cashing checks.
Yeah,
that's my money gimmick, brother.
That's a fair point. But that was like when Aaron said worst gimmick, I went to, okay, who's a good worker that got saddled with a shitty gimmick? Like, I'm not going to say the Ding Dongs, because those guys were shitty workers anyway. So, hey, here's your shitty gimmick, shitty workers. But when you saddle Tracy Smothers with Freddie Joy Floyd, I don't know. Yeah, Isaac Yankem.
Probably.
Mine's Prince Karras. Mine's Prince Karras.
I was a big fan of Tony Anthony's.
TL Hopper.
I mean, I just couldn't believe. I mean, I don't know. The last time I saw Tony, he wasn't even there yet, and I was just like, "Yeah, hey man, I'll see you later or whatever, kind of thing." How it works. And then I saw him on TV and I went, oh, you're a plumber? I didn't know you were a plumber. You never told me you had plumbing experience.
But my least favorite gimmick is Prince Karras.
With the mummy?
Yeah. The Smoky Mountain Prince Karras is fucking terrible.
Yeah, what's he do during the day? I mean, what does his day consist of? Somebody got to rewrap him?
He's just hanging out with Jim Mitchell and just... And it's like... And they're like, oh, hey, let's introduce Prince Karras to the world, and his first feud is going to be with Tim Horner.
Well, that's going to set the world on fire.
Yeah. It's like that Prince Karras gimmick was just
Tim Horner said he got to work with Dusty.
I always kind of like that kind of gimmick. But it was never, ever presented in the right way to me for where I could actually fall in love with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I liked it, but I could not go, he's not really a mummy.
Did you like Dr. Frank?
Yeah. Well, I did, but I didn't like it in that sense.
Right.
It could always be somebody that's doing it. But... you know, you can't electrocute him and have the guy go like, and like not sell it. No, it's got to be the real guy, kind of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if it's going to be a payoff, like Dr. Frank probably would have been Tommy Gilbert, you know, for lack of a better person kind of thing. You know, but yeah, that's what I mean. Like, yeah, don't the Prince Karras thing, whatever. That shit was ridiculous. I mean, it was so ridiculous that even fucking Cornette knew it was ridiculous, and he just didn't know what to do with it because the fucking what's his name? The guy paying the money. Whatever his name was.
Rick Rubin?
Rick Rubin.
Yeah, that's right.
He wanted a fucking mummy. And they gave him Daryl Van Horn. And like James Vandenberg did a great job. Like he was fucking fantastic. But fucking Prince Karras, once they put him out there, was just fucking trash.
Aaron, I gotta tell you, I thought they did the whole entire angle awesome. Even the mummy, who looked ridiculously stupid.
Yeah, he had like big black eyes. He looked like the fucking abominable snowman from fucking Rudolph.
The red-nosed reindeer.
Yeah.
So he looked like Will Hobbs. he was standing up there going. What do you want from me? I thought it was a fantastic visual. I loved the visual. I thought it was great.
Like every time fucking Horror hit him with a chair, like smoke pumped out of him and shit. It's like, what is going on?
What Will Hobbs?
It was trash.
What wrestler's going to come along that has bigger teeth than Will Hobbs? Jesus Christ.
You have more questions, Aaron?
Yeah.
About Will Hobbs' teeth?
And back to Isaac Yankum.
All right, I'm going to ask one more question.
Okay.
And we're going to go worst route. Who do you guys feel is the worst wrestler ever?
Jesus.
Like not like just in the ring, like just watching this, you're just like, this is the worst wrestler I've ever seen.
That's tough, man. I mean, because you have to have some sort of credentials to even get in the ring, right?
Yeah.
So you
And
can't.
that's why I wanted to ask this question, because Chad, you're a worker, so that's why I wanted to hear your.
Well, then maybe it's
answer
me.
to it. That's not you.
I'm the worst. I'm sure somebody's going to tell you that I'm the worst. I'm the worst. Yeah, I mean, god damn, the worst. I don't know, Nate. For me, it's going to be somebody that's mid card, because there's no way I can say anybody that was even clearly a main eventer that to say he was the mid card, right?
Yeah, and obviously, I'm talking as an observer that's never been in the ring, so it's hard to pull. Man,
well, Aaron's talking about like performer.
Who's that guy? Who's the guy that was in the tag team with Al Green in WCW?
Phil Hickerson?
No, in the fuck. Aaron, what was that team that Al Green was in when they
the Master Blasters?
Yeah.
Oh, them people?
Kevin, probably Kevin Nash at that point. Then was it Nash?
Well, no, Nash wasn't the one that walked off. Nash wasn't the one that walked off. I don't know what that fucking dude's name was.
That was pretty. He was pretty bad.
He said, "I don't know what that guy's name was."
I'll tell you in a second.
Fuck him.
If it was Nash in that tag team, then it's Nash, because that tag team was fucking terrible.
You said it wasn't Al Green?
It might have been Al Green. It might have been Nash with Al Green in that team.
I mean,
they were awful.
Not it? Is Al Green not the right answer?
But as far as a worker goes, like, I guess to Aaron's question, I would add a level in that, Chad. Like, if you're working as a worker, who's the worst? Like, who did you walk out of a ring with and go, fuck this guy?
Dude, I mean, you guys won't even understand. I worked a show about 6 years ago or so, whatever, and the guy that I work for him pretty much weekly.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't pay nothing. He paid me it was like $50, but he didn't pay shit. And he had me work against these three guys like in a 3-way match. And I remember, like, during the match, I sent all the three guys to the floor. And I told all of them, I said, stay away from me. Don't get nowhere near me. And I told one guy, I said, you stay with me. Mm-hmm. And I grabbed him. And I was like, you're going to stay with me because these guys can't work.
They're going to hurt me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said, Aaron or Nate. That's exactly what I said. I said, I'm not going to do anything with these guys because they're going to hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in my 40s. They're in their 20s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to put these spots together, and there's no chance I'm going to do anything with these fucking hillbillies that don't know how to do shit. And so, yeah, I threw the guy in the ring, and I was like, yeah, you stay with me. And that's, I mean, I don't have a problem with, like telling somebody, no, I'm not doing, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, no, I'm not doing that, because not only you have to go to work tomorrow, I got to go to work tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. and be able to walk.
Yeah.
Well, I can't find the Master Blaster that was with Kevin Nash's name. All it says is his fucking name was Iron.
Well, then it's Al Green, and he's my vote as a non-worker. Al Green.
Is that why you got the tattoo, Aaron? You got a tattoo of iron?
Yeah.
It's just a piece of iron tattooed on your arm?
Yeah. Can I tell you guys who I think my least... It's not even Brutus Beefcake. Like, this guy's worse than Brutus Beefcake. Okay? You ready? I think out of all the wrestlers I've ever seen and I've ever watched, I think this guy's fucking garbage, and I've never seen him do anything good, is Van Hammer.
Okay.
He was pretty rotten.
He's garbage. Van Hammer's trash.
Well, I mean, I agree.
Not to leave the show on a down note. It's just Van Hammer sucks.
No, I agree. But he's also a friend of mine.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, it's no big deal. That's why I was trying to look for the words to say. I wasn't going to go like, shut the fuck up, Aaron. Like, you know, what the fuck do you know? You never saw him against me.
He might donate to like Hands Across America and the Variety Club. The Variety Club. Good for him.
But he stinks.
He keeps Sandman with a roof over his head. That's cool. But he's terrible.
He's awful in the ring. Yeah, I know. There's not a whole lot I can do as a friend either. I mean, I tried to pull him aside, you know, and I tried to say, like, hey, man, you might want to do something about your work. And he was like, what do you mean? I said, it's not good, man.
And that was a nice way of saying it.
Yeah, he's like, what do you mean? I work for WCW. I go, that's what they lost $80 million a year.
Yeah. Hey, Van, if you don't want to take my word for it, ask PN News for some pointers. Maybe he can make it better.
Yeah, I had to get his number from Van Hammer to find Axel. Because Axel was late for a show. And I said, hey, Axel. And he's like, hey, what are you doing? I said, I'm calling you from Van Hammer's track phone. And I was like, you're supposed to be in Dolphin tonight. And Axel was like, what do you mean? I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh, I didn't know. And I was like, well, I don't book your shit. You know, so if you ain't going to be there, you ain't going to be there. So I don't know what to tell you, Axel.
So I promised my co-hosts on this show that we would be done at a certain time. And I want to ask you guys if you want to hang out a little longer or end the show, because I had something that I had for the show, and then Aaron started with his questions, and they were provocative, and I liked them. So we rolled with that. I was watching, God bless me, WWF in '94. Oof.
Why?
I watched WrestleMania 10, so then I started watching WWF 94 stuff because I still have the network because I'm cheating. I have a VPN, so my internet connection actually thinks I live in the United Kingdom, so I'm still able to subscribe to the network. And I started watching WWF 94, which frankly is boring, but I was watching some preliminary matches, and then I saw a preliminary guy on there, so I decided to Google, jobbers in wrestling, and I found this article on WWFoldschool.com they ranked their 20 greatest jobbers in wrestling.
Oh, I can't do 20 people.
If you guys want to hang out, we can go over this list, or if you don't, we can save it for another show.
Well,
it's up to you guys.
If you want to say Frank Williams, you can say Frank Williams.
I think he's on there. Do you guys want to hang out and go through this real quick?
How quick is it going to be? Like a half an hour?
Yeah, we can do it in a half hour.
Dude, nobody loves jobbers more than me. Nobody.
I can do a half an hour.
Right.
One of these days, Aaron, I'm going to show you my book that I started when I was a kid. I started writing down every job guy's name I ever known.
Sweet.
In a notebook. And I got it's 3 pages.
Dude, that could be a weekly podcast.
You wouldn't believe some of the guys' names that are on it from when I was a kid. Mick Foley's on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, shit. He jobbed at the Bulldogs.
Yeah, there's so many guys' names that are on this list, and it's literally I never added anything except my name. I never added anything except me. But I mean, other than that, every other name was when I was a kid, just watching TV, going, "Job guys, the jobbers." I love the job guys.
We'll give Aaron 30 minutes, and we'll run him through them real quick, as we always do. We do everything real quick here, right? Number 20. This is the WWFoldschool.com list of 20 best jobbers ever. Brian Costello.
No.
Remember him in the green?
Negative.
No. I don't know that guy.
Yeah, negative.
Yeah. Mike Bell?
I've seen Mike Bell, but no.
Mike Bell was he was like a early 90s jobber. They're not early 90s, late 90s jobber, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was on I can remember him on WWF in 93 at least.
Yeah, he had a fat belly.
Mm-hmm.
Going bald. Yeah. Stupid.
Bobby Starr? Bobby Starr?
Bob Starr's on the list?
Yeah. Number 18, Bobby Starr.
Oh, that list is completely jaded. That list, Bobby Starr should be way, way up higher on that list. Do you know that Bobby Starr works Jushin Thunder Liger?
No. You know what? Bobby Starr recently connected me on Facebook, so I might have to get him on the podcast. Chad's talking highly of him.
Bobby Starr, he worked Ricky Steamboat.
Damn.
Yeah. He makes me sick. when I look at his body of work and I go, Bob, you're terrible.
You're a star.
and I go, why am I not working Jushin Thunder Liger and Ricky Steamboat? Hey, Daddy. That's because I'm a star. Oh, I forgot.
Aaron, do you know anything about Bobby Starr? Any comments?
No. I just know what Chad just told me about him.
Dude, Bobby Starr is a personal friend of mine.
Well, he's on this.
If you want him on the show, we can get him on the show.
I'd love to. Any worker.
Bobby Starr?
Whether a jobber or not, I mean, they worked. And if he worked Steamboat, fuck yeah, I'll talk about it.
I'm going to ask
Number
you
7
a couple more times. Bobby Starr?
I have a radio station to build. Anybody, if you've had one match, come on.
We'll give him 12 food stamp.
Yes.
How you doing?
I got 6 Pixie Sticks over here. Number 17, Dusty/Dale Wolf.
Dale Wolf. What, as far as jobbers?
Mm-hmm. He's number 17 on this list.
Well, that's probably down low enough.
He worked a lot.
On Superstars.
Yeah, he was on Superstars a lot.
He's down there.
Number 16, Reno Riggins.
Reno Riggins.
What?
Hell of a mullet. Hell of a mullet.
I remember Reno Riggins when I was like 10.
He had a singlet, like a green and orange singlet, and a fucking.
Yes, he did.
And
he's gonna lose this. He's gonna lose the snooker.
A full and curly mullet. That motherfucker. I remember Reno Riggins.
Yeah, I mean,
he worked Smoky Mountain too. He was on Smoky Mountain for a little bit too. But yeah, Reno Riggins.
Yeah.
Number 15, Jumping Joey Maggs.
Well, that guy trained Axel.
Did he really? I didn't know that.
Well, not actually. He didn't actually train Axel. Him and his buddy trained Axel, which was I don't remember his name. It was Jim somebody or other. Mm-hmm. But yeah, trained Axel.
And I never actually saw him jump. It was his name, but I never saw him jump.
You know, he was like he was
a tad taller than Kevin Sullivan, but I never saw him jump. And he was a short little fucking he was built like a fucking what do I say? Like a micro brawler or a fucking fire hydrant. Fucking jumping. Yeah, like Joey Maggs was like a fucking fire hydrant. That's what he was built like. And I never saw him jump. And he also had an excellent mullet.
But to be honest, Aaron, I never saw Glenn Jacobs do a root canal either. Number 14 on the list of best jobbers ever from WWFOldSchool.com. He's from Columbus, Ohio. He's a Frankie Williams.
Why shaggy titties and a pencil mustache.
Greatest jobber ever.
I agree. I absolutely agree. Frankie Williams, greatest jobber ever, and that Piper's Pit is one of the greatest wrestling segments ever. Let's not fucking shirk that shit. Piper's like, oh, you're from a Columbus, Ohio. But on WWF Old School,
but hold on, real quick.
Sure,
that's my favorite thing that It's not my favorite thing Roddy ever said. But when he was trying to figure out what Piper's Pit was supposed to be, he was interviewing Frankie Williams, and Frankie Williams, he was like, where are you from? And he's like, I'm from Columbus, Ohio. And Piper said, the minute he goes, I'm from Columbus, Ohio, Piper said, the minute he said that, it clicked at him, and he goes, oh, that's what this show is supposed to be.
That's great.
I'm going to smack this fucker in the face. It's going to be great.
Number 13 on this list, The Gambler.
In WCW?
Yep.
Yeah.
Whose actual real name was Jeff Gamble. So, not too far off.
He sucked ass.
Yeah, but he did other work.
He did.
Like for Eddie Mansfield and...
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no. He's not Frankie Williams.
Number 12.
No.
Number 12 on the...
not Frankie Williams.
He's not. I would rank Frankie as probably top 3 at least. They rank number 12, Terry Gibbs.
He was a star in St. Louis.
But he jobbed to the Warrior on the WWF. So these guys think.
Well, I mean, if he was a star in St. Louis, what's that tell you about the territory?
Number 11, recently passed, Barry O. Barry Orton.
Again, just a guy that did what, 14, 15 tapings in the early 80s?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he wasn't a perennial jobber, right? I mean,
I wouldn't count him, no.
And then he was in a jobber like everywhere he went. Like when he was in Stampede, he was like the Zodiac, whatever, and they did shit with him. Yeah. I think this list is just shit that people saw.
Well, yeah, and I mean it's a website. It's a website called WWF Old School. So,
okay.
Number 10, Rusty Brooks, who we recently lost. He was a perennial in Florida, though.
I don't know what to say. I mean, I loved when Rusty Brooks would tag himself in the ring, and he would get in, and I just go, "Look at that fat piece of crap."
Well, and the funny thing about him was he was fat, but then he'd tag in and he'd be like, "God damn, look at him work!"
Yeah, he'd take an arm drag.
Yeah,
he'd tag in, take an arm drag, take a hip toss, and you're going like, "You're a fat piece of crap." like you're not supposed to be able to take this crap.
Yeah, look at you, you snack pack.
Yeah, you're awful. You're unhealthy. What the fuck's the matter with you?
You big human ball of confusion.
Yeah, what's the matter with you?
Number 9.
We don't know what to think of you, you fat fucking conundrum
guy.
Yeah. Your parents are all calling people, trying to figure out what to do with you. I don't know what to do with them. You got
a gut and a Dutch boy haircut and big titties, but you can work. What the fuck is going on? You're a walking contradiction, Rusty Brooks.
He's got insurance and car payments and probably kids. I mean, he don't know what's going on. He's just out there. It's $75 a week is what's paying the bills. That's what I think. Poor Rusty.
He's a big, fat, musty ball of fucking fusion.
Number 9, the Mulkey Brothers.
Mulkeys?
Yeah.
Mulkey Mania?
I don't know.
They're all right.
I don't think the Mulkey. I mean, I think the Mulkeys are the perennials, but not like when you're talking about like job people.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Mulkeys are the guys that Ric Flair would take to the bar after. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and also guys that when the wrestlers
if Arn and Tully are bored, they're gonna be like, "Hey, let's go out there and have a good match."
I was gonna say when the wrestlers are mad at the promotion, the Mulkeys are the guys that go out there and be like, "You're Steamboat tonight."
Yeah, I mean, could you see Flair like telling Randy or Bill Mulkey that you're Flair or Steamboat tonight? Probably not. But you can always say George South or,
mm-hmm.
or one of them guys. Yeah, they're the guy. that's the guy tonight. You can see that, but not one of the fucking monkeys. The monkey sounds like it's a disease.
Oh, I can't come tonight. I got the monkeys.
Fucking monkeys.
Sal Malone was like, "Don't book me in the viewer choice. I got the monkeys."
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh.
I got it from the peaches.
Oh no! The kids. The
peaches gave me the monkeys.
And the kids.
The Sandman's like, pay your bill, Sal.
This is ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous.
And number 8.
Sal Palomo's name's being brought up. It's ridiculous.
Number 8. The unpredictable Johnny Rods.
Sal Palomo? Oh.
Pretty close. Johnny Rods.
So what's the deal? Like, what do you say about him?
I don't know. Let me see what these guys say about him. Did he
I like that shit.
I
like that shit. The angle they did with Piper with Johnny Rods in L.A., where Johnny Rods beat the shit out of Piper like 3 weeks in a row. And then Piper came on the next week and was like, "Hey, I can't beat this guy up, so I'm just going to be his manager now."
Mm-hmm.
That was fun.
But these guys at WWFOldSchool.com rank him as number 8 in the best jobbers of all time.
Can I say who I think number 1's going to be?
Okay. I don't even know.
I think number 1's going to be Mike Sharp, but we'll keep going.
Number 7, Special Delivery Jones on their
FD?
list. Yep.
What's his real name?
Super Destroyer.
Jones? Like when the mailman puts the package in the thing, he's like,
"You motherfucker."
Super Destroyer Jones.
Would you look at you?
It was like you two worked that out.
It's like he's living in this roach-infested fucking apartment. But I'm Super Destroyer.
Jones.
That's right. I headbutt these roaches.
Their opening sentence in their article about him is, "Special Delivery Jones is best known for his run as an enhancement talent in the World Wrestling Federation from 1974 to 1990. Congrats, SD."
Damn. He was a jobber for that long?
That's a long-ass time.
Jesus. I thought that I kept my career up a long time for being a job guy. But SD Jones, that was like, what, 9 years? 8 years?
20 fucking something years.
Yeah, SD Jones, he didn't give a fuck. Like he put over a finger painting expedition.
The checks keep coming. The checks keep coming. Number 6, Jim Powers.
All right, whatever. Now we're starting to get into the guys that people know. Like Frankie Williams should be the first. That's just the way it is.
I would say Frankie Williams would be my number 2, and my number 1 would probably be Steve Lombardi.
It's going to be Mike Sharp. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be Mike Sharp.
Well,
number 5.
At this point, Aaron, you're probably right. Number
5 is Dwayne Gill.
Oh, Dwayne boy, my buddy Dwayne. What do you mean he's like what? Because you can see him on every week on Dark Side of the Ring when he's getting clotheslined by the Road Warriors, or
with his black and white blonde mullet.
Look, Dwayne Gill, come on, seriously.
Dwayne Gill's awesome.
I don't know what to say about Dwayne. I've known Dwayne for almost 30 years, for crying out loud.
Mm-hmm.
And he's had the most awesome career. And it's funny how every time he sits at home and then the phone rings and they call him to come back and do something. And he's like, what's he going to say? No?
Right. Hey, how much?
Yeah. I mean, he's going to say, hey, we want you to come back. We want you to do something with like R-Truth or whatever. I don't know. But no.
What's he going to say? I'm busy?
I'm in the bathroom, man.
I got this bonsai tree. It ain't going to trim itself. Fuck.
How do you think this thing works? Yeah, you know what I mean, right? So yeah, Dwayne's like a good friend of mine. Every time I see Dwayne like doing anything, same with Ellsworth, I just go, I can't believe you two are still getting fucking paid to do anything. Because Vince likes Dwayne because like
he'll do
Dwayne
anything.
What's that?
He probably pays Vince.
He doesn't pay Vince. I mean, Vince likes Dwayne because back in like 91, when he was doing jobs for Vince, like the Road Warriors and the Steiners, they would say, hey, we want to work with this guy. Do the jobs. Because he took the bumps, kind of thing. You know what I mean, right, Nate?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's a testament to a fantastic worker. Say what you want, but Dwayne Gill obviously was a guy that serious pro wrestlers wanted to work with if they had to do an enhancement match.
And he called Vince's eye.
Yeah.
The Steiners liked him. The Road Warriors liked him.
Number 4 on this list is a guy that maybe not necessarily was a guy that Vince would have wanted to be on his show, but a guy that would have definitely brought a bunch of extra talent to the show is the Italian Stallion. Number 4. Gary Salvo.
What, WWE?
Yeah, I mean, this website is wwfoldschool.com. But as far as top jobbers of all time,
Well, you probably couldn't book Italian Stallion in WWE in what? Anytime pre-84, right?
Right.
So where would you book him? Like, is he the Scott McGee that he's at Madison Square Garden opening a match against Gus Thornton?
Was he one of those guys like hooked up with Bundy?
Who?
Italian Stallion. Was he tight with Bundy?
You know what? That's a good question. He could have been. I don't know for a fact, but he probably did have a connection with Bundy because they were all in the same like racket together. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like they were all sending the same guys to do TVs,
right,
and doing shit together. So he probably knew Chris. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but that makes sense, honestly.
Aaron, anything on Italian Stallion? I didn't ever think I'd ask that question on the show.
He loves them. He's got a. I mean, I saw his tattoo the other day on Facebook.
I never put a tattoo on Facebook. I don't know what that's about.
I saw it.
The tattoo you got. That stallion beefcake tattoo you have.
Yeah, I have an Italian stallion beefcake tattoo.
That's right.
It's like Two-Face from the Batman.
Why'd you put it on the Facebook page? Now the whole world can see it. We all see it now.
Okay.
Stop posting your tattoos and your lasagnas on Facebook.
Yeah. And my spicy meatballs.
What's the matter? What's the matter, you?
I have no idea. But the Italian stallion's a fucking piece of shit.
Jesus.
Yeah, Italian stallion. He's a piece of shit.
He's a piece of shit.
What is it? Your money?
Wow,
Fuck him and his entire family.
Like, why? God. All right, moving on. Number 3.
He ain't no Frankie Williams. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, you're not
or Super Destroyer Jones. Fuck the Italian stallion.
Obviously, he's no Frankie Williams because Frankie Williams was like what 4 or 5.
Nate, answer your list. Answer, bitch.
It's not my list. It's WWFOldSchool.com, but they rank number 3, Barry Horowitz.
All right. Well, obviously they're going in this direction.
Mm-hmm.
They're just putting people.
Just keep Barry Horowitz away from Fritz von Erich, and we'll be okay.
Barry Horowitz, von Erich.
I was trying to do like a Nazi Jew joke.
No, I mean, I was thinking about like if the Von Erichs needed another Von Erich.
Barry
Von Erich.
Barry Von Erich.
Barry Von Erich.
and
Barry, I don't know why Barry Von Erich cracks me up so much.
Like,
the Texas Straddle. Barry Von Erich.
well, you're gonna say all that, not me.
Yes, I am.
I am not gonna say all that.
Barry Von Erich.
The only thing I said was it's Barry Von Erich. Yeah,
but no, I mean, I'll give credit to Barry as far as a jobber and when I grew up as a wrestling fan. Yeah, perennial jobber. He was always there, and it was never a bad match, and he always did a good job. But whatever. Frankie Williams should still be higher.
I worked for
Barry Von Erich.
It's the best. Like, why the fucking Lance, man? You could have got Barry. I mean, that just reeks of success. Right? I mean, Lance sunk. With the nose dive. Boom. Right down into the water. But
yeah,
Barry
Von Erich.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Now we're talking. Now we got something going.
Yeah. It's the first Von Erich with a Jew perm. It would make it great.
Yeah. Jew Von Erich. I mean, I'm not sure you can say that, but whatever. Like, Jew Von Erich? That's probably can't say that.
It's the complete opposite of Fritz's gimmick.
Fritz is like, shit, I don't want to kill this one.
I can't say
Fucking
Drew Von Erich.
Number two. Number two. The Brooklyn Brawler, Steve Lombardi.
All right, so this is a biased list.
It is. It totally
Like I
is.
said, Mike Sharp's going to be number one. But
Well, let's get to it.
Steve Lombardi, I know he's a jobber or whatever, but he should be commended for what he did in his career, I think.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing, because if your goal as a pro wrestler is to make money and make money
Have
in
a
the
fucking
top,
job.
and make money in the top pro wrestling promotion in the world, obviously Steve-O did his job and made his money.
Steve-O.
Well, Steve-O Lombardi.
All right, who's next?
All right, number one. And as much as his brother, as it pains me to admit every single time that he was right, on WWFOldSchool.com's list of top jobbers of all time, the number one is Iron Mike Sharp.
Boom. Told you. Iron Mike Sharp is the perennial jobber. And I'm not even saying that trying to be disrespectful.
He sold it perfectly. And he did his job as a jobber, you know. And to his credit, before he was a jobber, the guy fucking worked back in MSG. I don't know, whatever. But it's true. It's not a lie.
And like I said, everybody that he worked with, he put over, and he did a good job with them. And he was a character. You know, he was a jobber, but the people him, and he was a fucking character, and people enjoyed him. And I enjoyed Mike Sharp. And like I said, when I told you, this guy's going to be the number one guy on it, I'm 38 years old now. I started watching wrestling probably when I was 5, and I still have memories of Mike Sharp. That makes sense.
Yeah, you're not going to hear me shit on him. You know?
Oh no, I have memories of when we brought Mike Sharp in to work on an independent show.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was going to the show, and I was asking Jeff Jones, who's on the show? Oh, Mike Sharp. Mike Sharp? You're kidding me, right? No. Mike Sharp against whatever. And it drew 400, you know? It drew what we needed to draw.
Right.
It wasn't like we were selling out the Garden or anything. It drew the little house that we needed to do. It was him against Mark Freer. I don't know if you guys know who Mark Freer is.
I do not.
He was New Jack's original partner.
Oh shit.
Go back and look in Memphis from 1990, 1991. it was New Jack, and I don't know what Mark Freer's name was, but they worked Memphis together, and Mark Freer just didn't have it in him. You know, he just didn't have the wrestling business in him. So he bailed out.
I mean, all Sharp had to do was look at the crowd and go, "Hey!" And, you know, I mean,
well, for an independent wrestler, that's the fucking job you want, right?
Right, yeah. And like we said earlier, obviously we would have liked to have Frankie Williams be ranked higher, but
it's a shame.
Mike Sharp number one, I can't argue with it, I guess.
No, it's a shame. Frankie Williams is number one. I mean, if Mike Sharp had got offense on Bob Backlund.
True.
I mean, like literally, like Bob Backlund one day went to his fucking bathroom and goes, "Oh my god!" He grabbed his rib and he's like, "You know, I'm a little sore." And Mike Sharp, that was a stiff shot he gave me. You know, I mean, there's nobody going to the fucking latrine going, that Frankie Williams, like he was really stiff tonight. I don't think that's happening. So yeah, we'll just forget about all that, and then we'll rebook this. Yeah, because there's no chance that. Oh, goddamn! What is Frankie Williams at your house? Frankie Williams just knocked over all your glasses?
All my beer bottles.
Oh my god! Frankie Williams is all pissed off.
I'm a Frankie Williams.
I'm from Columbus, Ohio. I'm not afraid of nobody. I'm always deciding about what.
And knocking your bottles down, bitch. A fucking with me, I fucking with you.
I don't. Yeah, that's Frank Williams is the greatest jobber of all time. Like, there's just not there's not even an argument. Like, whether he likes it or not, that's the worst part about it. Is what if you call Frank Williams and say, "Hey, man, you're the greatest jobber ever." And he answers the phone. He's like, what's the matter, you?
Okay.
Yeah. Like, all of a sudden, he's Sal. He's Sal
That's a
Palomo.
spicy meatball.
But what about the kids? What about the kids?
Frankie Williams like, fuck those kids.
Yeah.
I got a job to do.
Yeah. I
gotta knock over the bottles and put over the pipe. I ain't got time for the kids.
I gotta be in Hamburg on Wednesday. All right, what's the matter, you? Johnny Rod says I gotta be there. Mr. Estrada said I gotta be there to get paid. Yeah, what the fuck?
Well, this has been another fantastic edition of a no-edit, no-holds-barred edition of the We Can't Wrestle podcast. Archie, thank you and your sinuses for joining us for like 14 minutes. No, but I'm thanking him for his 14 minutes of service regardless. And those that didn't join us, Kyle, Chris, David, what the fuck are you waiting for? But anyway, Aaron, Chad, you guys are the true troopers. The true.
What was that?
We are the true troopers.
You are the.
Nobody tubes better than us, Aaron. We are the best tubers.
You are.
Yeah.
If you guys could sing,
this is
if you guys could sing that
like,
Jericho song to end the
like,
fucking show,
no,
so
shut
that
the fuck
me
up.
shitting
This
on,
is like
no,
this is like
so that
listen
me
to
shitting on AEW isn't
no.
the
This
worst
is like
thing.
listen. This is like listening to a Rotary Hawk promo.
Shut up.
I'm a true trooper, and so are you, Chad. Fucking Nate is mumble mouth.
You close the show then, fucker.
Peace, bitches. Buy the shirt.
That was a terrible sign.
Buy the shirt.
Buy the shirt.
Tubers.
Buy the shirt, Toopers.
You're a good tuber, Chad.
I'm a tuber?
Apparently, we're the best tubers in the world, buddy.
I think my fiance's got some fucking lace tubers. She got tuber one.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for joining us on the latest edition of the Drunken We Can't Wrestle podcast. We'll see you next week. Fuck up. The We Can't Wrestle podcast is a production of Maxin' Out Media. All rights reserved.